So today I want to talk about imagining anxiety symptoms. Are these symptoms just in my head? Are these symptoms fake? Are they not really real? Am I not really feeling what I'm feeling? And I want to make this video because I felt so alone for a while, guys. I thought I was losing my mind. I thought I was going crazy. I felt like I was having a heart attack, and I would go and they'd tell me, look, there's nothing going on with you. Your blood pressure is pretty high. Your heart rate's really high. You're having anxiety. There's nothing else going on. But my chest would hurt so bad. I would have numbness. I would have tingling. Yes, the high vitals, the racing thoughts, tension cramping. My stomach would want to empty itself immediately whenever I would have these panic attacks. And I felt really alone, and I just felt like I was losing my mind. Like, how can I feel this way? And you tell me that there's nothing wrong. And I went through this cycle with all these different disease scares, fearing cancers, various cancers, neurological things. So I'm here to tell you, technically, yes, you can imagine symptoms. You can imagine anything, right? These symptoms do start up here. It starts with us being threatened, triggering our sympathetic nervous system, and we can go into fight or flight. But guys, once you've activated that and you've been in this cycle for a while, you can have symptoms 24/7. And I think that that's whenever we start to think, man, is this just all in my head? And this isn't even real, right? Because I'm not even anxious right now, but yet I feel like my chest hurts. I'm not even stressed out. I'm doing something that I enjoy, but I have this horrible headache. Am I really tripping here? Like, maybe I am losing my mind. Because then we go to the doctor and we talk about this headache, or we talk about something going on in our body. They'll do a CAT scan, an MRI, they'll do blood work, or we get all these heart tests, and they're like, look, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing. You will actually feel like you are losing your mind in that situation. You are not going crazy, and the symptoms that you are feeling are real. You may be really hypersensitive. Your pain threshold might be a little bit lower because of your hypersensitivity, but nonetheless, you are feeling what you're feeling, okay? Those symptoms are real. The hard thing about it is, aside from our blood pressure and our heart rate, and anxiety can mess with our body chemistry and maybe mess with blood work sometimes, but for the most part, it's hard to pick up anxiety on a test. It's hard to find muscle tension through a test. It's hard to pick up a headache on a test. It's hard to pick up numbness and tingling on a test, if you don't have any nerve damage causing it, or if you don't have circulation issues or problems with your heart that causes it. Anxiety can do all of these things, but yet it's still hard to pick up on these tests. So that's why the doctor's telling you, look, there's nothing wrong. But it can still make you feel like you're dying, because you can still all have these scary symptoms. And also you add the component of fear to these symptoms, right? We are in fight or flight. We are scared, right? We don't have to be in full-on fight or flight to still have fear. But you add the fear component with it, and that's what makes these symptoms so terrifying. Numbness and tingling whenever I would have anxiety. Like, I was more afraid then whenever I would experience something like that, or any anxiety symptom, than I was afraid whenever I snapped my arm in half. You know what I mean? I guess it's the uncertainty, and it's that impending doom. It's that fearful feeling that you have that makes the symptom even more scarier than it is, right? So you can imagine anything. It can start up here. So some examples of this, guys, like, I could just hear a story of somebody having a heart attack and my chest would tighten up, guys. Tighten up. I've told the story before, but one of my an employee of mine, whenever I was a manager at a sporting goods store, needed some time off because his dad, who was healthy and in his 40s, had a heart attack. And he's like, I don't understand. Like, he was better than us at basketball and would go out there and he was so active and all this stuff. And I'm hearing this stuff, and this is just like triggering me so bad. My chest was tightening up and everything, and I hurried up and marked him down for his days off, and I had to tell my assistant to take over because I felt like I was having a heart attack, and I went immediately to the hospital. That's how easily triggered I would be, okay? I could read an article, and halfway through that article, I have all the symptoms that I'm reading about. It would happen that fast. If I saw an article about somebody that died of colon cancer, my stomach would start hurting. If I heard about somebody that had a brain tumor, I would get a headache. So yes, it starts up here, but the symptom that you're feeling is real. Although it's not life-threatening, as long as you've been checked out by a doctor and you know that this is anxiety and this has been happening over and over and over again, it's not life-threatening, but the symptom is very real. But you combine hypersensitivity with that symptom, it feels so much bigger than what it is. And then you add fear on top of it, it's even bigger than that. So you can imagine anything. It can start up here, but you can feel those symptoms. You can feel them. Another reason I wanted to make this video, because I made a couple of videos in the past, and I think the message was like, no, you can't imagine symptoms. These symptoms are real. And now that I think about it, it's like, technically, you can't imagine symptoms, but the symptoms are real that follow, right? It does start up here. So technically, you know, I guess I'm going to backtrack on what I said. These symptoms are real, but they do start up here. You can't imagine the symptoms and cause them to happen, right? Our brain is that powerful. It's that connected with our nervous system, with our body and everything. We can direct tension pretty much anywhere. I was very good at that. I could think about my arm hurting, my arm would hurt. I could think about my right arm going numb, it would go numb. Go below in the comment section. I want you to comment in all caps, my anxiety symptoms are real. My anxiety symptoms are real. If you want some more help with your anxiety recovery process, if you're wanting to get away from these symptoms, check out my course, Elite Anxiety Bootcamp. I'll put a link down below in the description and in the first spin comment. I'm going to read you another review today. I'm spending part of my day today watching Trey's Elite Anxiety Bootcamp. These courses have already explained so much and have helped even more. I'm not a big reader, so the fact that it has a lot of audio really helps me focus. Let's kick this anxiety right in the butt. Be a part of that course, guys. It's helping so many people. I've been reading you reviews every single day so you can see the value before you make that decision. There's also a link for online therapy down below, so check that out if you've never done therapy. And my coaching one-on-one information is also down below. If you want to do one-on-one calls with me, reach out to me and we can see if we can set something up, and I'll get that info to you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like this video if you got some value. And until next time, keep fighting.